guys, and welcome to my next video in Doctor Who December. So today I am going to be diving a little bit more into the Doctor Who lockdown videos that obviously, were uploaded earlier in this year, but obviously I saved some of them, I guess, for December. So today I am going to be getting into Shadow of a Doubt and The Shadow in the Mirror. Now I don't really know that these two videos are actually tied in together. I believe they are, given the fact that they're, you know what I mean? Like, given the fact that they were uploaded back to back and have similar, I don't know, shadow in the name. I don't know. So I'm going to react to both of them. But if for some reason they aren't connected, I apologize. I just thought that they would be, and that would make a nice video for you guys. I don't really know what to expect. So yeah, I'm really excited. Let's get into it.
In the ruins of Andromeda, I found a mirror from old Earth.
Oh.
It had survived far longer than a mirror should. It was made of interesting and suspicious materials. I kept it in my tent. One night, in the mirror, appeared a little girl with a balloon. I had good reason to be afraid. I'd met a girl like that. I'd been hunted by a girl like that. But this wasn't quite her. And she didn't seem frightening. There was something broken about her. She asked me if I was him. I'd have replied with something cutting, but she looked so sad in that moment. She told me that he, or often she, had kept visiting her once a month, forever. There had been the old one with all the hair. He had been the worst. There had been the one I travelled with. He had been the worst too.
Oh.
There had been the thin white aristocrat, and the one who couldn't walk, and the one with red hair who thought he was the last. But they kept coming.
Whoa.
They always asked the same question. They asked her if she was sorry. She tried so many different things. She'd asked them how she could be sorry for a story that had happened many times in many ways. She hadn't even been present for all of them. She could see that from inside the mirror. They'd told her they were a story that had happened many times in many ways.
Oh.
And they would not excuse her.
Oh.
All she had to do was say sorry. But she could not bring herself to. She told me she was incapable of it. But the look in her eye when she said it made me not believe it.
Oh.
She asked me to let her out then. She asked me to do what he would not, as I often have. I asked her if she was sorry for what she did to me. She tried to tell me that was a different her. I said that was a story I'd heard before. I said she'd lived far longer than she should have and had learned nothing. I returned the mirror to the ruins, where you would find it. I came back that way a few years later, and it had gone. I don't know if she ever got out. Perhaps he returned her, in the end, to where he found her. To all the places he'd found her. Long ago. In an English spring.
Oh. I have a lot of questions. I'm assuming, well, this is tied to Human Nature Family of Blood. It says read by Lisa Bowerman as Bernice Summerfield, and by what she said, that it's possible a companion of a doctor that I haven't gotten to yet. I'm assuming if anybody here is new to my channel, that I don't, I'm on the second Doctor in Classic Who, so, right? I assume that's what was implied. Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna watch the second one now.
I don't know know how long I was in the mirror for. Centuries at least.
Oh, wow.
I saw the doctors on a regular basis. They found me no matter what mirror I was exploring that day. Some of them didn't even seem to remember much about me, but they always demanded I say sorry. They said they'd release me if I did. I always refused, because I wasn't sorry, and then they went away. Until one day a new doctor found me.
Oh, a new doctor.
She hadn't visited me before.
Oh.
She had a swoop of blonde hair and a great seriousness about her, despite the fact that she wore a costume with a rainbow across her chest that said she liked to entertain children. On her lapel, she wore a badge of a white poppy. So the red-headed doctor was wrong, I said. He wasn't the last. She told me she didn't know about that. That one rule, perhaps the only solid rule of being the doctor, was that doctors don't know much about themselves. She said she had come here to break another rule. A rule about crossing her own future, about changing decisions her other selves had made and were going to make.
Oh.
Because she thought it was a rule that should be broken. She'd been locked in with some friends somewhere. She'd considered her sins. She'd decided there were several sicknesses in her that needed curing. She asked me if I still wanted to get out. Of course, I said. But if you've come here to gloat, you should know I haven't suffered. I've been to every mirror in the universe, and I've frightened many children. I will not bow to you. I will not say sorry, ever.
Okay.
She said she understood that.
Wow.
That in many ways it was her own fault that myself and my family killed so many people. That made me scream at her. What I did wasn't up to you. She told me what I already knew. That if she released me from the mirror, I'd have a life of days or weeks, my normal lifetime, starting again from the point where it had been suspended. I still want to get out, I said, but I will not say sorry. My family did what they needed to do, what they were born to do. If you let me out, I'll keep on killing lesser beings, and then you'll have that on your conscience too. She asked me if I knew what mercy was. I wouldn't reply. She said then that mercy had nothing to do with fairness. That mercy set fairness aside and said there was no getting even, no balancing the scales. There was only deciding against pain. There was only being kind to yourself by being kind to others. She said she didn't need me to be sorry. And she took a big hammer from her pocket. I jumped back from the mirror and she smashed it.
Oh! Oh! Whoa!
She smashed it time after time, smashed it into a million pieces. And then she held her hand out to me. The
Oh.
expression on her face was stern, not welcoming. She said something about this being an end
fair.
to bad luck. I didn't take her hand, but I did step out of the mirror. She said there was nothing on this world. That's why she'd come to free me here. She took me to her TARDIS. She stayed looking determined as she operated the controls. She watched me in case I touched anything. I was
Makes
shaking
sense.
inside, trying to deal with my freedom, hoping against hope this wasn't some further twist on her revenge. But when the doors opened, there was my home.
Oh.
There were the spires and the great spiral troughs. There were my people, linking in the great chains, sunning themselves on the rocks in their natural form. She told me to get out. She told me I wouldn't have time to leave this place before the end of my natural life. That I would be free to live and die as I should have in the first place. That she had made this decision for me, and for herself, and for all her other selves. I stepped out of the doors. I was really there, really home. I didn't understand why she'd done that. I still don't. I was furious at her for having this kind of power over me, as my people are always angry because of the historical injustice perpetuated against us. I was about to turn and release my balloon to eat her face. But by the time I did so, her TARDIS had already faded away.
Goodness.
I could only turn back to look at my world. I couldn't help but feel something relax inside me at being in the embrace of my people. They were already coming towards me, calling out, curious, welcoming. I took a deep breath, and the air was good.
Wow. Okay. This was a interesting little ending, I guess, to Human Nature and Family of Blood. I really, I will be kind of honest that I'm a little bit, it's been a while since I've seen it, so like it's not as fresh in my mind as if I just watched it. But you know, obviously I know who the girl with the red balloon is. I liked what they talked about when they talked about, mercy and fairness are not always the same thing. I like the concept of that, because that's always kind of I think the thing that always people get stuck on a lot is the fairness of it all and everything. So I like that they did touch on that a little bit. I like the fact that, she was kind of visited by like all of the doctors, and I like that there's like an allusion to, she said a doctor that can't walk, I believe, and a doctor with red hair. Hi, I'm available. I'm just kidding. But it is kind of interesting that they chose the 13th Doctor to be to kind of make this decision, so to speak, to let her out of the mirror and to give that mercy. And I am quite curious as to how you guys feel about that. They say she made this decision for herself and all of herselves, basically. And I find that to be kind of interesting. To have one doctor make a kind of very final decision that maybe went against what another final decision of another doctor was. I don't know. I find that really, really interesting, and I genuinely want to know what you guys are thinking about that and how you feel about this. I do love that we are getting a little tidbits of like, I don't know, just kind of like epilogues with certain stories. I wish that they would do this for other, probably quite a few stories. I can't name them off of right off the top of my head right now because I'm just not really in that mindset thinking of it. But I do kind of like that, and to see what happens with certain one-story villains or characters or anything like that. So I guess what I'm gonna do for like a fun part of this video is for you guys leave down below which character, good, bad, whatever, that has kind of only been in like one episode, or maybe just like a two-parter, or we haven't seen so much, that you would love to get a little bit of an update on, and maybe a little bit of a resolution to their story and how that all ended. Let me know down below what would be your pick for like a good, or just a story that you would like to, it doesn't have to be a character, just a story that you would love to see, just a little something like this, like a little epilogue for. I found that really interesting. And yeah, let me know what you guys thought of this. I was not expecting this, and I kind of panicked a little bit at the beginning because I was like, oh God. I was like, first, I believe that in the first video that is a companion of somebody that I haven't gotten to yet. And if I'm wrong on that, you guys can I'm sure you'll all let me know, but so I already panicked, and I'm like, oh God, I'm not gonna understand this. This is not, but I think I followed, and because it was more so about not necessarily about that particular companion. It was more about like the story. So I was good. But I definitely in the beginning was like, am I supposed to know who this woman is? Who is this woman? Oh my God, am I so stupid? Oh my God, my subscribers are gonna like come for me. Like, sometimes that happens, I'm not gonna lie, and I like freak out. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.